Hello, everyone.
Hi guys, take two.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I guess Mimi's coming at some point. I'm sure.
She is in transit, last I remember. So she'll hop in when she ready.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
How you doing,
But yeah,
Fred?
Justin, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. Nothing much. I mean, I would say
The-
chilling, but this ain't just any old day.
I know. Look,
Shit.
I'm giving you the floor today, right now, sir. You have the floor is yours. Do your pleasantries, whatever you want to do. You go.
I mean, it's a blessing to see a birthday, especially a milestone birthday. You know,
That's
40
right.
is a 40 is a really big deal, especially coming from the neighborhoods we come from, where, some people don't get to see 18, 21, 30. So I'm one of those, I don't take it for granted, especially after 25 when like shit really could have went left and I wouldn't have been here. So I'm one of those, I actually embrace the number and getting older and aging. I know some people are like, I don't want people to know my age. I'm like, I'm the opposite because I'm very fortunate and blessed. I know there are others that aren't as fortunate and blessed. So I don't take it for granted. This is probably the most sober birthday I've ever had, going back to like 17. And a lot of it has to do with people out of town, and a lot of plans got audible last minute because shit, life is lifing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, you have a plan and things get audible. So
Right.
this weekend got completely audible. SummerSlam weekend it's gonna get completely audible to where I'm not gonna be able to attend that. But sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you gotta take the punches, roll with it, and adapt and adjust, man. But I'm very fortunate and blessed.
That's right.
What the hell was that?
Well, Justin, happy birthday from me and Mimi. I know Mimi will get on and give you much deserved accolade and praise once she gets on as well.
Mhm.
But happy birthday to you, good sir.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you are here and here with us today as well. And it's your birthday. It's a great day. And just, yeah, I know you've been living it up, but yes, we appreciate you and happy birthday.
Thank you. I mean, I've been trying to live it up, but there was a lot of things going on this weekend, not just in life. I mean, when I try to make this rundown, it was like, how do I narrow this down? Because we had one, two, three, we had four shows, was it three major shows, plus
Hmm.
Raw, plus SmackDown, plus the news that broke over Seth's injury, how legit it
Hmm.
is, and his status, which is still up in the air. But I
Yeah.
will say this weekend wasn't just about me because we got a lot of great women's stuff. I mean, between
Oh, yeah.
Evolution, between Mercedes and Tony exceeding expectations and then some, and then Rhea and Io saying, "Hold my beer. Let me see if I can one up this," and then Naomi saying, "Hold everything because I'm about to
Hmm.
fuck shit up and I'm not proceeding with caution no more."
Right.
A- And
Absolutely.
even the women's triple threat for the IC title was like, yeah, don't forget about us either because we put on a banger. And then Bailey and Lyra had to remind people on Monday, like, oh yeah, we can fucking go in the ring when you actually give a. It's almost like the WWE girls made a declarative statement to management: book us more.
Hmm.
We deserve to be at the top. We deserve to be treated like Roman, Seth, Cody, and we should be more in the main event picture than always less than. And even with AEW, man, same thing. Where, to my knowledge, the women have never made an event at a pay per view in AEW's history, and Mercedes and Tony really threatened that. To where I know Tony did how they build like a triple threat, a triple main event.
Yeah, I think they built it. Listen, I still haven't seen anything from All In. I said like at this point that's going to be broken down over a couple of days for me, but I think it was booked as a triple main event. So
Well, I will say, for those who don't really tap into AEW, All In is basically their WrestleMania, and they treat it as
yeah.
such, and they go all out as such with the booking. even though the way they formatted the matches was kind of like a New Japan Wrestle Kingdom style, where the
Hmm.
latter end is like all the matches you've been waiting on, but we're gonna get everything else out the way.
Yeah,
But it was a
yeah,
fantastic show, and it wasn't just Mercedes and Tony. We also got to salute Athena, who was very high on the BRP 50, who won the women's casino battle royale, so she gets a title shot. That's
oh
another
yeah, yeah,
crowning
she did.
achievement of like, yo, black women were doing their damn thing this weekend.
Yeah. Oh yeah, nah, definitely so. I was for everybody listening and everything. I was in Atlanta for Great American Bash and Saturday Night's main event and Evolution, so we'll get into all of that. But no, Tony and Mercedes. From the highlights I did see, yeah, it looked like it delivered as expected. I mean, it's not even a pass over. Like, yeah, we knew they were going to be good. Like, that's a compliment that we knew they were going to be good, and they delivered. And so, very happy Tony Storm got the win. Time will tell. I think if if they run this back, I will say if they run this back, Mercedes is winning it. And I think that's what's going to. Well, I don't know. I don't know if Mercedes is getting the championship. Let me go right there. She's going to get it at some point. Whether this is the downfall and she starts losing all her other ones before she finally gets back on track and wins the women's world championship, I don't know. But she's gonna get it eventually. I don't know if it's gonna be from Tony. Could be from Athena. Could be from somebody else. But she's getting it. But she further she furthered that argument this weekend that she might be the best women's wrestler in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like I said, from everything I've been seeing and the stuff she's been doing the last couple of months. Remember when she first came in, she was kind of winning and winning stuff, and people were like, like okay, like she, and even me, I kind of was like, oh, where are they going with it? But she's been consistently really good in her matches these last. I mean, the whole time she's been there, realistically, but definitely these last couple of months, she's been really good. So I can't even I can't knock her being in the position she's in because she's proving it in the ring. So kudos to her and
Yeah,
both of their
I
matches.
think it's a combination of that ankle that was a really, really serious injury is like
Hmm.
fully 100%, and she's fully confident wrestling on that. And it's a completely new company. Like we forget, like Mercedes was in WWE for like a decade almost.
Yeah.
So to
Yep.
go completely new booking, completely new wrestlers, completely new style and format takes a I guess a adjustment period. But yeah, she's been cooking with hot grease.
Hmm.
And going into that match, it felt like the best women's wrestler on the planet versus the best women's character on the planet. Because what
Yeah.
Tony's been doing the last couple of years with this timeless run is fucking remarkable. Like the only
Yeah.
other
She's really
thing,
good.
only other person in women's wrestling I could put up against that right now is Naomi's Pursuit with Caution. But Tony's been rocking with that longer.
Yeah. Yeah. The over the top works for the women where some people maybe they may be doing too much, but sometimes you got to do that. And yeah, that's a great example with Naomi in that those two characters are so unserious and over the top, yet they're serious that they're really good. And people, and I can tell you now, you'd have almost thought, at least the weekend with the live crowd, from what I was experiencing, lots of Naomi shirts, lot, which it's funny, you would think lots of Naomi shirts, but the skit, that not skit, the video she did in the store, which I just happened to just walk in the store and I look up and there she is, literally just, and it took people a second to grasp that it was her
Mm-hmm.
because they were almost like it was like maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was the most least expected thing because it wasn't crowded in the store. It wasn't a whole bunch of people. Like I said, it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And she just strolls in like it's nothing. And she's, starting the whole shtick that she does. And it's great. And you're really looking like, oh my goodness, that's Naomi. And she's just going crazy. And it was weird. It was almost as if it was planned, but her shirts really weren't out. And I'm thinking to myself, I swore I saw them Friday. I was like, maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm thinking I did.
Mm-hmm.
But her shirts really weren't out there. And I'm almost starting to think, was this planned as a way? People want to buy her stuff. Yes, they're not dumb, but for the sake of what ended up happening in hindsight, I'm wondering, like, hey, did this go the way they think this was going to go? That they purposely didn't put her shirts out to maybe further a case or further the story. Could be just a thing that shirts were late. We don't know, but it worked out all for the better considering what happened.
Yeah, and it got everyone's attention on socials where she put that clip up, and I was driving. I remember like, oh wait, so she's the hottest act, and you really don't have a shirt for her. But I think what further proves your point of this was planned was as soon as she won the title, that Money Bank briefcase, people were buying that quick. Like we
Yeah.
were doing shout out to the TWG family. We were doing the live
Hmm.
stream for Evolution, and like the girls were immediately like, "You better get this briefcase now because it's not going to be available much longer." So I can only imagine they sold out about that really quickly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the one they sold online is probably not going to be further enhanced like hers, because it seemed like on hers, and it may have been this weekend, like even as of Friday, is she put lights on it,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't lights on it before, and I saw it lighting up, and I'm like, oh, so I don't think the replicas that they sold online are going to. I could be totally wrong because they still don't have a ship date until like October or November, I think. So they could still modify it for all we know. Which that's another thing. It seems like lately they've been putting stuff. They just put stuff out, special event stuff that ain't gonna ship for months, but they letting you go ahead and get the pre-orders in now. So whatever. It because I jokingly said it to somebody. I was like, with the stuff they put on for before Seth's injury or whatnot. I said with Naomi and Seth's briefcase going out there, they might not even have the briefcases anymore by the time you get it. So who knows?
Who knows?
Seth is a different story though.
But since we're talking Naomi, we might as well go pivot over
Oh
there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
she has her match with Jade, which was good, but I felt like that should have went another 5 minutes. And the way that those two have been beefing, it should have had a little more animosity. So it kind of gave the feeling of a next chapter in their rivalry, but like this is going to lead to something where it ratchets up even more.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't really thinking cash in. And salute to Naomi because on Monday she was calling everyone out on, see, y'all thought I was gonna cash in on Tiffany. You didn't even think about Rhea and Io, and see you, this and that. And I was like, you didn't have to say fuck me for it. Like, what the hell? Like, like you had set this up like you were cashing in on Tiffany. So when Tiffany's match happens, it's like, all right, it's not happening tonight. I didn't even think about her cashing in on Rhea or Io, let alone during their match. So when her music hit, like, and Rhea and Io, salute to them, they put on a goddamn banger. Like
Hmm.
between them and Mercedes and Tony and Bailey and Lyra on Raw, I don't know which women's match is the best of the weekend because all three of those were fucking fantastic.
Hmm.
But Naomi's music hits, and I was literally flabbergasted. I was like, "There's no fucking way she's cashing on this belt." And it's like, how did we not see this coming? And a lot of it, and she said it on Raw, like, I purposely set everything up for one belt. You didn't even think I was gonna go for this other belt.
So it's funny you say that because I'm not gonna be that guy. I promise you. But toot toot, because I kept saying on here for weeks, in an event like that with Evolution, they're doing the cash in there. When they had Tiffany going before, and then Jade Naomi, the way Naomi lost, I was like, I feel like she's still cashing in. It's unconventional. And I told the person sitting next to me, they were like, I don't know. I'm like, maybe it doesn't happen. I was like, but I feel like it's still going to happen. And then even the video I posted, when they went down, I literally turned over. I was like, she's coming out. I know she is. And then she comes out. And I'm like, yeah, it just felt like an event like that with a briefcase available, they're not going to pass that opportunity. I just kept feeling that way. And when she finally did it, I'm like, oh, this is interesting. This is when the overthinking happened after she won. I was like, Well, I know it's a different era, but are they going to maybe switch the titles somehow? I was like, is Tiffany going to end up on Raw? Is Naomi going to keep the other title on SmackDown? Or how is this going to happen? Because it seems like I'm still, it still felt like to me in the conventional WWE, they tried to keep as many serious couples together as possible. And I know Tiffany and Ludwig have never been on the same show since NXT. And now Naomi's on Raw, Jimmy's still on SmackDown, but at the end of Raw, I was like, oh, maybe this is a way they bring Jimmy to Raw. I don't know, but it's like that's where my overthinking was because I was just like, they usually like to keep these couples together, but man,
Or
again,
it
that's
could
the
be
old
what Mimi
WWE.
had been saying before in previous weeks, which
Hmm.
is if you have people hopping back and forth between show, like you don't have to keep it just brand split, and you can have people hop back and forth, especially if you're gonna
Well, it
have.
seems like that now, Justin,
But if you,
because we saw Chelsea Green and Nikki Bella last night, and Chelsea Green's clearly on SmackDown. You're exactly right.
yeah, so if we're gonna have less house shows, then it
Yeah.
leaves room for you could have Naomi over there, and it's just one day versus back
Yeah.
in the day where if you're on this when they had the brand split and you were on SmackDown, then not only were you on SmackDown show, but you were doing the SmackDown house shows, and then
Yep.
the Raw, and you were completely separated from the other.
Yep.
Versus now, it's really just one day
Yeah.
out of
There's
the
no house
week,
shows.
and
Hmm.
Jimmy can always pop over and kick it on Raw and just not be on TV the same way like, Seth was backstage kicking it at Raw for Becky stuff, and
Hmm.
he's not on TV because of the knee, so he could always do that.
Yeah. I wonder. It's funny you mentioned that with Seth just now. I wonder if we're gonna get more information out of him tomorrow. 'Cause I think he's supposed to be hosting Rich Eisen's show tomorrow. So
So
for NFL. So I I want now I'm intrigued to check that out tomorrow just to see if he himself provides any kind of update. I doubt it, but
I actually think he will because WB has been very good the last couple of years on when it's a legit injury, they let you know.
yeah.
Because it's not just you're buying these tickets in advance, it's just travel packages, it's meet and greets, and Seth has like a lot of fans. So you don't want to
Hmm.
leave like, well, he could be here when he's really not going to. If it's significant,
Right.
they don't waste time. Like when Charlotte had her injury, as soon as they knew it, they and confirmed it, boom, we're putting this out there. We're not even gonna waste time with this.
Yeah, and you're right. You're exactly right. And that's why I'm thinking I guess the MRI probably came back today, I would assume.
Yeah, and
So
Seth
he
and Seth had did this prior to WrestleMania 40 when he tore the meniscus and MCL, where he was like,
Mhm.
"I'm gonna try as my best to make sure we don't miss WrestleMania 40, but I have a legit injury. I'm not gonna be on TV for a little bit, and praying to God that I can be at WrestleMania 40. But if I'm not, this is why." And he came out. That was one of those where he came out and addressed the crowd in the promo and was like, "Yo, I'm legit injured."
Mhm. Yeah. So we'll see about it because the other thing, which at least maybe because they truly didn't know, they at least put out there, via Paul Heyman, obviously, that he really has until next June to cash it in. So if it's not serious, I mean, we saw that what 15, 18 years ago, I think, yeah, 18, when Mr. Kennedy got hurt, and they thought his was more serious than what it was. They took the briefcase right off of him and put it on Edge. And then it turned out he was back in a couple of months, and I mean he could have just kept the briefcase, but that seems like they're going the opposite road of that this time. In that, if Seth can keep the briefcase, they're just going to prolong and keep the briefcase on him until he's back.
Yeah, I'm glad they did that because initially my first thought was, all right, if he's legit injured, how do we get this briefcase back into play? Maybe you put it up for grabs again at SummerSlam, have six guys in there, and have like a Money in Bank ladder match and run it back at SummerSlam. But Heyman put it perfect. Like he has a full calendar year. Even if he tore his ACL, that's 6 to 9 months. But for the guys, it's usually been around 6, 7 months, unless it's in the
Mm-hmm.
same knee. So even if it's 9 months, it would still fall in that year calendar time of all right, the briefcase just is not on TV, but he still has all this time because we forgot Money in the Bank started later than normal this year.
And it's funny you mentioned that. I'm about to go ahead. I'm gonna bring Cal in now, but it's funny you mentioned that because I think we will see the briefcase continually as long as Heyman's on TV. If Seth's off, much like we saw last night, I think Heyman still carries the briefcase around with him, regardless. I think we will see the briefcase. But go ahead, Cal. What's going on?
Good evening.
Good evening.
First and foremost, happy birthday, Justin. Bless up on the 40th. Like you said earlier, let them niggas know how old you are. Because some of us don't get to make it to that age. So let them know.
Sure
Let
don't.
them know.
Thank you.
Um, no doubt, no doubt. Shouts out to the Turnbuckle Talk crew as well. Yeah, I think Seth is. I think it's serious. I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to jump the gun, but in a weekend where in like 3 days where they not only like y'all said they moved Naomi from SmackDown to Raw,
Yep.
and that could be a little bit of Liv is still out cushion. We need
Yep.
somebody hot fire on that side too. But
Mm-hmm.
and I'm totally jumping the gun, but Roman back. Like I don't know if I was thinking that if Roman was going to return, just like last
Mm-hmm.
year in Cleveland, it would have been at SummerSlam or something closer to it. He's like 3 weeks out, and we ain't really. Is he going to be wrestling CM Punk? Like I don't know what the
Yeah,
situation is,
no,
but
it feels like Roman and Jay against Braun and Bronson. That's what it feels like.
and that feels like, damn, Seth is gone.
Yeah.
We got
Mm-hmm.
homeboy. He can at least come up off the bench for a little bit for the big show, and then go back to making movies or whatever for the rest of the
Right.
year. But yeah, those things made me feel like, damn,
So
it's
so so Cal,
good.
let me
Hmm.
let me tell you this. So when it happened, when I'm sitting in there, I'm people, we're kind of watching, in the crowd we're watching, and
Right.
it happens, and I'm like, that wasn't good. And then people were instantly like, oh, he's gonna catch. I was like, something doesn't look good. When he stood up and just took the BFT and it was
Yes.
over, I said,
Yes.
yeah, that ain't good.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't think so? I'm like, that's
It,
not good.
it's
They just
different
did the
when
finish.
Well, because it's different when you're watching on TV. Like if you, because I saw it. Like he hit the first springboard off when he landed. He landed when he well actually he landed and he got up and it looked like his right leg buckled. But
Mm-hmm.
then he went and did the second springboard and literally he dropped right down after he tried
Yep.
to get up. And it's because it's Seth. I feel like this is what the third or fourth situation with his legs over the
Yep.
last like 8 years. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and if you see, there's clips of him outside the ring too, like trying to put weight on that leg, and he
Oh
couldn't.
yeah.
He was
They
like,
went dark,
shit.
Cal. When they
Yeah,
went dark and they were literally, refs under the arms, walking. He wasn't walking fast,
right.
and Heyman wasn't really in character either. It was kind of like Heyman was like, "Ooh." It was
Yeah,
almost as if when it happened, Heyman, the booker, the creative person, it's almost like you could see his wheels turning in his head, like, "Oh, where are we going? How are we going to get out of this?"
yeah.
That's
We
the
we
look
we
he had on his face.
we got to make sure to maintain order and
Yep.
storyline. But yeah, there's something serious. But I think that's why this is what weeks ago we were talking about. Why is Heyman around?
Mm-hmm.
It's stuff like this because yes, I've heard some people theorizing that Braun Breaker going to try and take the briefcase. I don't know, but we're going to see that briefcase for a while. And if he made mention on TV that guess what, he got till next year to cash this in. They want Seth cashing in that briefcase. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
he said
saying?
it
So
last night. He said
yeah,
it last night.
it's inevitable. You
Yeah.
don't worry about it. Just let him get better. And I really because I feel like he returned back last year after that injury, and he was wrestling a couple matches. I don't know if he was like 100%. I hope he takes whatever time he needs to take. Damn SummerSlam, damn everything.
Yeah.
Get
There's
right.
enough time this time that, you know, I mean, fortunately, this doesn't happen in November, December, January, where, oh crap, we've got 5 months. Seth may not hold on to this. I
Right.
mean, there's no good way of this situation, but it's like it happened 3 weeks or so after Money in the Bank. So he's
Yeah.
essentially got the entire year of holding that. And like I said earlier, when Justin mentioned it, I think we do see, like when Heyman said it last night, he said contractually the Money in the Bank holder Seth Rollins has until June of next year to cash in the Money in the Bank. I was like, oh, we'll keep seeing Heyman with just to have that inkling, and something's gonna happen. I think purely fantasy booking here, guys, where Heyman's out there when there's a world champion out there for some reason, and he'll have the briefcase with him, and then boom, surprise, Seth Rollins is
It's
back.
immediate entry. Yeah, it's
Yep,
immediate.
that's what like I said, pure fantasy booking. But guys, I could easily see that happening.
I like the fantasy booking. It just comes down to how severe is the knee injury. If it's
Yep.
one of the lesser ligaments again, like he had going into WrestleMania 33, where it's just the
Mm-hmm.
meniscus, then that's one thing. But if it's you legitimately blew out your knee for the third time, then it's like, oh boy, he may need to take as much time as possible.
Yeah, and I'm hoping. Yeah, it's it, thank goodness. Like I said, the he was in a lot of things. Dude was doing all the side quests. Seth Rollins. He had feuds with every. Because think about it, he was still feuding with Punk. By default of his group, he's feuding with Jay and Sammy. He's feuding with LA Knight. He's the Money in the Bank holder. He's still got Roman in the rearview mirror coming after him. Dude was he was the integral part of major storylines going into the summer. And it sucks that he's potentially gone now. Hopefully he just tweaked it, Justin, that it's just he's out till maybe even just SummerSlam, because SummerSlam is what, 18, 17 days away now? 18, I believe
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, thank God it's not later in the year where there's only so much time before that count. Thank God it's right now because he could actually win that title at some point,
Yeah.
August, September, October, and coast throughout till the Rumble if they really want to do something with it.
Right, right. It's funny you say that, and it kind of ties in with what me and Justin were talking about with the Naomi situation that happened earlier. That they made this situation, kind of look like Naomi was going to cash in on Tiffany, and then boom, she cashes in during the Rhea and Io match. I've been thinking Seth Rollins, when he cashes in, he's going to win the WWE Championship. I don't think he cashes in for the World Heavyweight Championship.
That,
I
that
really
that's
think something happens where he wins the WWE Championship.
that's well, and I remember him and Cody had a whole story that they had a whole story that they had to piece things up for Survivor Series last year.
Yep. Or 2 years
So
ago, I
yeah,
think. Two
two
years
years
ago.
ago,
Yeah.
they had all of it's right there. And I mean, the way Seth's rocking, he's so quick to be like, you know what, Cody, give me that.
Yeah.
I've been your friend too long. Run the jewels. It's simple. That's I like
Think
that. I
about it,
like that.
Cal. Cody got 3 dubs over him in 3 straight months. He
Yep.
owes Seth. Like,
He owes him. No, yeah, he definitely. There's a receipt coming for Cody. I like that idea because I'm not saying that. I don't know if it's going to be Gunther holding the title by the time Seth comes to cash in, but I like the intrigue more. Seth and Mimi may love it too of Seth going over to SmackDown, taking that title from Cody and having the Friday Night Messiah over
well,
there for a little
she'll
bit.
love it because Roman can finally take it from Seth. I'm sure
There
that's
you
how
go.
she.
There you go.
Because I don't see. Here's the thing, and it's funny you mentioning this, and Justin, I want your take on this too.
Hmm.
It's interesting because it's almost like Kyle said. It seems like they probably called an audible with Roman's like, yeah, dog, we kind of need you a couple weeks back earlier. It's almost as if Roman sticks around, we're getting a Roman Gunter program. I don't think Roman beats him for the World Heavyweight Championship, but I think we've got to get Roman and Gunter, right? Don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Because we never got that
Yeah,
for the IC title. That's a big money match that's been sitting there. I definitely agree with you. I think this felt like he was probably watching or saw the news and was like, "Ah, shit, let me go get my Thanos. I gotta go do this myself. Seth got injured again, but I can't clown my boy for another knee injury. Let me get up in here earlier and cancel this PTO." Um,
yeah, yeah. It just feels like Cal mentioned. They did the big comeback for him at SummerSlam last year. It almost feels like they were. It feels like they were going Roman versus Seth. But actually, when Cal brought that up, I was like, well, they could have went Seth trying to cash in at SummerSlam, and Roman interrupts that and stops it. So that's probably I would more lean towards that being what was going to happen. But they called him back. I mean, Seth's gone. Seth's gone. You know, KO's gone. I mean, I'm just thinking of people that are gone right now. Like it's kind of Raw's missing Liv Morgan as well,
Hmm.
and it's and you know, like he said, bringing Naomi. And I didn't even think about that till he said it. Yeah, Naomi coming over may definitely. It could have that could have been an audible too.
I,
That could have been hey, and that's not too. I don't want people to think that Liv ain't important because you can't discredit Liv Morgan's impact on Raw. She's a very strong character on that show. So
mhm.
if she's gone for a while, yeah, you absolutely can have Naomi fill that spot. And it's not even a fill of a spot. It's like Naomi is at that level where no, this is a major player you're putting over on Raw. So absolutely.
I think it's also a second front of it's not just putting
Hmm.
respect on Liv Morgan's name of like she is at the top echelon in that women's division, whether people want to give her credit or not. But I
Right.
think it's also low key. Bianca may not be ready yet, and I know
Possibly.
people really want that that black excellence triple threat. But if she's really not ready yet,
Well,
then
we talked about that on the
and
show, Justin.
I've
We've
been
all talked
said
about that.
Naomi Bianca, that could be a mania match, but how do you get there? Well, if Bianca's not 100% and the way she was going about during that Naomi and Jay was like,
Oh, they
and
didn't touch
I'm
her.
staying as far away from this man
Yeah.
as possible. Like I'm gonna be refing, but I'm making sure none of y'all nowhere near this left hand that has the messed up finger. So it's like, ooh. And I was having this conversation with the girls during the live chat, like some of that means if that hand's not 100%, that takes away a good amount of Bianca's offense, where she does springboards and the KODs and stuff like that. Like if she can't really do all that yet, then it's like, all right, if we put Naomi over here and we know SmackDown is loaded to where like we could put Charlotte and Alexa in a tag as a tag team and keep them as a
Hmm.
tag team for a while, and you will still have Tiffany and everyone else rocking. Then Naomi on Raw helps alleviate the Liv situation because again she had surgery on that, so I'm thinking she's gone till Rumble because that's not gonna
Yeah, it
be
could. Yeah.
that's not a quick heal type of injury.
No, it's not.
But
No.
that helps that.
Mhm.
And then if while we're still waiting on Bianca, Jade gets her title
Yep.
match against Tiffany at SummerSlam. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens if Jade actually dethrones her and Jade's champion. That'll be interesting
Mm.
to see where we rock with that. And if Tiffany somehow beats back
I got
Jade,
thoughts on that. Hmm.
then I'll jump in
Hmm.
with the thoughts.
No, because I'm gonna jump in with the thoughts really quick, Justin, because then I'm gonna bring Steph in, who I randomly ran into while I was down there. I was like, oh yeah, that's great. Steph's here, so I'm gonna bring her in a second. My thought is this: it seems like the way Tiffany was in that match with Trish, it maybe it seemed like she almost may be turning heel again, like actually heel, because and if that happens, I don't know if Jade wins this first go around. It's weird. I want her to win, but I don't know if she does. I'll get back to that. I promise you. Steph, what's going on?
Hi, Steph.
Hey, happy
Hello
birthday,
there.
Justin.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to hear you again, Miss asking great questions at press conferences.
I know.
Ah.
We saw you. We
Steph,
were
did
like,
you make it back
Steph,
home
that's
for
our
Raw?
girl.
Thank you so much. If my voice is cutting out, maybe it might be it was because I went to see Beyonce yesterday.
Oh,
But
okay. So she didn't. She answered my
Mm.
question.
yeah, so I wasn't at Raw yesterday, even though it wasn't my hometown. I'm so proud
Yeah.
of us that we got such an amazing episode after Evolution. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, um, in talking about the placement with Naomi, it's so
Sure.
interesting. I did not think about the idea that there were a few pieces missing with in terms of Liv
Mm-hmm.
because and with Naomi replacing her on Raw because like I said and her cashing in on Rhea and Io was definitely unexpected. Like
Sure.
if
Mm-hmm.
y'all had seen my face while I was standing on the floor before we got shuffled into the back, it was just
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, wait, what's going on? The match hasn't ended yet, and then all of a sudden you hear this music, and I'm just like, wait, what? This is
Oh,
what this is what's
Steph,
happening?
they didn't move y'all before that, did they?
They moved us before the match itself ended.
Oh
Oh, so
my
you
So,
missed the
but
god.
cash
here's the
it.
thing.
Damn.
No, I
Wow, I'm
didn't. No,
sorry.
I didn't. No, I didn't miss the cash in. Like we were on the floor while the cash in was happening.
Oh.
Okay.
So while Io and Rhea were still in the ring, sort of gathering themselves before the cash in, we were on the floor. So they were in the process of moving us.
Okay.
Ah, so you were about to
So
get shuttled back, and they're like, "Wait a minute, we got drama going. Hold
yeah,
on."
yeah. And it was just really nuts. And I just couldn't believe it. But I was just so happy. But I was just in deep shock, like, whoa. Because all that time she was just like TikTok Tiffy. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, okay. But then everything happened last night and it was just such a beautiful moment for her. And in thinking about the way Raw went last night, or at least from what I saw that
Uh-huh.
happened, she's the perfect replacement as a villain
Yeah.
because her character work has been one of the most amazing things to witness. Because even
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, it's like she went back and forth between happy and then unhinged at the same time.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's so funny watching it happen in real time. It's like you're seeing someone who is genuinely happy, but yet switching that switch back on to being this unhinged girl that who could very well cluck you in the head if you say the wrong thing.
Well, you saw it twice because you saw it at the press conference too.
Yeah,
She
Yep.
was switching back and forth like that too. It's like you
yeah.
could tell she wants her moment, but at the same time, she's like, "Let me switch back into this character and
I think
let
the
y'all
press
know I ain't the one to
conference, she
mess
was
with."
more happy because Raw, it was like 5 seconds. She's like, "No, no, no, don't switch up because you weren't doing this earlier. You weren't doing this earlier when I came back and I was telling you I feel the glow. You weren't doing this. Don't switch up now. Don't give me
That
this.
was
You deserve
hilarious.
it." It's like, man, you ain't gotta say fuck me again. Damn, I'm taking this personally.
I was just like, oh, not you dragging my brothers and sisters, but it's okay.
Yeah.
um,
Nah, she's
but
giving
it's
us
okay
meme
though.
material. Keep going.
Yeah, it's okay. But Naomi is the perfect villain foil in
Mm-hmm.
this Raw dynamic, and especially with this big moment that she had at this historic pay-per-view. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't be happier to have been there and witnessed that cash in,
Mm-hmm.
but even more just seeing, her on Raw is definitely going to be interesting and definitely going to be a treat. Her and Rhea and Io are going to tear the house down.
Yeah.
Um,
She's beating them
I'm
though.
excited. I'm
But yeah,
excited.
go ahead. She's gonna beat them at SummerSlam.
I
Naomi's
mean,
winning that.
I hope so. Oh my god, I would hate it if she just cashed in and won that, and they just had her lose to big Rhea and
I
Io
can't
like
think them
that,
doing
or
that,
Io. That
Steph.
would make me sad.
That's not
I can't.
happening, but I'm glad
I
you
don't think
talked
so
about this
either.
stuff because I think Naomi on Raw breathes fresh air into that women's division because for
It
so
does.
long
Mm-hmm.
it was very Rhea, Liv, EO centric at the top, and then
Mhm.
right below them was the Becky, Bailey, and Lyra, who were no longer calling Bird Lady. She's earned her name, Lyra Valkyria, but for a while she was Bird Lady. That everyone was like, why are they so interested in this Bird Lady? That's like, all right, we like doing the call during the entrance, but then she wrestles and it's whatever. But Naomi kind of breathes fresh air into that main event scene. And then whenever you figure out what's happening with Bailey, because now they got her on this losing streak, is she going to turn heel? If we're going to get the heel role
Bailey and
model,
Naomi together.
or is she coming back? And then what happens with Becky and Lyra? Because this is now Becky Lyra, what, four?
3 or 4.
3 or 4. So
Yeah.
if
Mhm.
Lyra gets this title for good, is Becky now back in the main event picture and we're getting Naomi Becky at some point?
Well, something we got to watch out for, y'all, that is happening is which also happened to Evolution. The winner of that battle royal,
Oh yeah.
Naomi might not last past Paris
You
though.
can't you
I
can't
think
even
she
sleep
gets
on
through
Stephanie.
SummerSlam. Yeah,
Oh my
I don't know if
You
she
god.
gets
you talk
past.
about a
Yeah,
rocket. Stephanie is on she takes that title. We may have to have a conversation on like who's had the fastest rocket in like
yeah,
women's history because it comes back to like Charlotte getting called up and immediately
yeah.
taking the
She's in
Divas
Brock Lesnar
title
territory,
off
dog.
of Nikki Bella territory.
Yeah, like it's, I don't think Stephanie winning that battle royal was an accident. I'm saying that just
Me
in metaphor.
neither.
Yeah, yeah.
No, like Lash would have
She's
been good, but Lash is still at NXT. Stephanie's basically been called up, and Stephanie made
yeah,
more sense with the win. Although Lash would have
yeah.
been like, oh, that's a curveball I didn't see coming. But now that we know that they had the
Hmm.
title shot, it's like, yeah, Stephanie wasn't losing that to Lash. No offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Steph
from
might
an
be Naomi. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Yeah, and from an international perspective, she has that cachet of bringing people in from all over the world, considering clashes, in Paris, and you never
Yep.
know, that fan base might be a bit more familiar with her, and so her having that match would be stunning. I can't wait, and the moment she had with Stephanie McMahon was precious.
hmm
I loved it, and I just wish they had only invited me too, because that would have been like the Stephanie trifecta, and that would have been cute. But it's okay.
Stephanie, we appreciate having you on. Plug yourself before you go,
Yes.
please.
Of of course, please know you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Queen Steph Hardy and listen to my show, The Hardy Wrestling Podcast, everywhere you get your podcasts, Apple, um, Spotify, iHeartRadio, everywhere else, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also run up the numbers on my clip where I asked Naomi that question at the Evolution press conference.
Got that right. Thanks, Stephanie. Anytime you want to jump on, you just jump on in here.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. So, Justin,
Yes, sir.
Roman's back.
I mean,
I don't know when. I don't know if Mimi's gonna make it in or not. But Roman's back, so I'll do her a solid. I'll do the yay.
I don't need you to do me a
Oh,
solid. I don't
there
need
it
you to do
is.
me a
There it is.
solid. First of
What
all, I've been listening.
What was he wearing last night? No,
Hey,
no, no.
hey, Santano, what is
What
this
shoes he have on
name?
last
What
night?
is this down?
What shoes he have on last night?
he
Uh
had the
Um,
huh.
Dion's. I even
I
had
don't
That's right.
know.
those.
I see. Dang it, Justin, you saved her because I wanted her to answer this.
I was looking at how thick he looked.
He had
Okay.
That's where
he
I
had them Dion's. I
was.
was like, wait a
He
minute,
my
I
man.
had them damn shoes back in the day. I know those ones. I'm not even a sneakerhead.
My blinded Trump supporter was wearing Dion's. He was looking thick to blow
At least he
low.
wasn't in the road
I
this
was
time.
loving it.
At least he
Huh?
wasn't in the
Oh
road
my
this time.
God. I hate those pictures. I hate those pictures. But can we go back because I was on the bus. I mean, I'm sorry, I was on the boat and you know how loud
Floor is
TikTok is because
yours. Where you want to go back to?
I just wanna go back to the whole Naomi
Sure.
thing and Cal would know this specifically how when I champion for somebody like I go in and Charlotte, Naomi, and Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. I was in when she lost to Jade, I was in the group chat mad, like legit mad. And Cal and Matt kept telling me, "Girl, it's a bigger picture.
Yeah.
It's this win ain't the win.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bigger win. SummerSlam, this, that, and the third." And I respectfully told Matt, "Stop mansplaining me," and I didn't give a fuck, and I was mad. And when that music hit, I literally had tears in my
Mm.
eyes because I don't, yo, Naomi is a really, really, really talented person. And I'm saying person because she just embodies what not only a wrestler is, but a black woman, like just in totality. How she interacts with people. Like looking at this character right now, it is so turned up and it is so perfect. And it feels like you know somebody. You either have somebody in your circle or you know somebody that acts the way she
hmm
acts. It's so relatable. She is so tapped in. And I'm just here for any and everything that she does. Like, I think if she ran over a puppy, I wouldn't care at
Probably
this point.
deserved it.
Questions would need to be asked, but I see where you're going with it.
Right. You know? And so when this cash in happened, I got it. I went to bed and I got back into the chat and I was eating my crow with hot sauce.
Mm.
I was eating
Good.
my crow. And I always admit when I'm like, okay, I was wilding. But I was wilding, like I was mad because I needed her to win at least one time in this series. At least once.
Nah, she didn't. I will
So
respectfully say she didn't need to. She had the briefcase. She was set.
that's what they
Yeah.
kept saying. That's what they kept saying.
And
I
I've been told
still
you she's not gonna have an
kind of want
unsuccessful
her to
cash in.
win.
Like I've been told you that too.
Yeah, no, not
It's
her.
not about the cash in. It wasn't about the cash in.
She
It
just
was
wanted
about
her to
the
get a dub over
series.
Jade.
I
Mm.
did. Yes, I did. I did because she worked like she's been carrying this feud like character wise. Like she really, really, really has. And I love that the fact that they implemented Bianca into it. I'm curious to see how this all unfolds with Bianca being a part of it. Maybe Bianca is the one that takes the title off of her. Who knows? I am not confident that she's going to win this triple threat, but I'm going to pray that she wins this triple threat only because of the history, only because of the journey.
So,
But I am hoping they put a lot of respect into this and allow her to really thrive in this space right now.
so, so two things for you, Mimi. One, that's
Hmm.
the only thing I'm kind of scared of is that do they want to do Stephanie against Naomi? I would think Naomi wants is going to be the one that wins that triple threat. But I don't know if it's somebody creatively advocating for it to be Stephanie and Rhea or Stephanie and Io instead. Because, Stephanie's got the next shot. So it's like, I don't know what match. I'm perfectly okay
But
with
what
Stephanie
happens
and
to the
Naomi.
story? So you don't think Bianca comes into the story at all
Not yet, because Clash of Paris is at the end of August. So Stephanie is the next contender, regardless.
of this, or
Yes.
of could it be Tiffany's?
Well, you know what? You're right. Because they did leave it kind of open. But Stephanie's on Raw,
I was
though.
about to
That's
say,
the
did
only
they
reason why.
specify it or did they leave it open? Because I don't
They,
I'm
remember it.
pretty sure they just said a world championship
yeah,
spot. And again in an era where Naomi pulled the 52 fake out and went from the SmackDown champion to the Raw champion.
yeah.
Let's
It's
confirm that
plausible.
because we could be
Right.
getting Tiffany Stratton versus Stephanie Vacquer in
Could be
Paris.
Jade
You're
and
right.
Stephanie.
Oh my
Facts.
God. If we
Facts.
get
Right.
Tiffany versus Stephanie, please, Stephanie, get that fucking
Oh,
title off of
if
her.
it's Tiffany and Stephanie, I'm putting the house on Stephanie. I'm telling you that now. Like, the,
Of course.
but Mimi, the other thing I wanted to say for you, I genuinely 100% specifically thought of you when I was sitting in my seat and I was seeing legitimately all the love Charlotte was getting on
Mm,
Sunday night. I was
mm,
like, yeah, Mimi would love
mm,
this because I said it last week.
mm.
I said, oh, when we talked about the article, I said, oh, this article is going to turn her face. I said immediately, I was like, this is it. It's a face turn coming on this. That article, people are going to relate to that, and they're going to turn her face. You could
I
see,
think the reason
mhm,
why I think, and I don't mean to
nah,
cut you off, but I think Charlotte has not done interviews in a
yeah,
very, very long time. So it made it feel like she was unreachable, unattainable,
hmm
um, on this level that she is, but in a space where she was super, super high up there that nobody can like
hmm
is
oh no,
incredible.
oh okay, good, there you go, yeah.
It's an incredible,
hmm
incredible press run. And that article really kind of like it felt like even on Sunday, it felt like she was comfortable where it always feels like she's comfortable where she's at, but this run specifically feels like she's having a good time. There's no pressure.
hmm
And DDM even said this. These two was something that I didn't think was going to work, but now we have it,
Oh, it's an
and I
odd
didn't
couple.
think that I wanted it.
But it's more than an odd couple because we forget how long this history with those two go back. It goes all the way back to
hmm
2018 when they were both champions on like SmackDown and
Outside of
Raw.
the
So like,
history,
yeah.
it's just the connection between the two where you look at them and you're like, huh? Two opposite sides of the track, honestly, and they're making it work. Like
So,
legitimately making
hmm
it work.
so I'll say this, Mimi. Also, like I said, I was thinking about you when I said as the other entrances were going on and they were kind of dark on them. On a like, you could see Charlotte giving like little heart signs to everybody. She was really, you could tell that really meant a lot to her. Like I said, it
Of
was
course
off.
it does.
Yeah, it was off. It was off. I'm sure that you couldn't see it during the entrances and stuff because other people were coming out, but I could see her in the corner with Alexa. She's waving at fans, giving little heart hand signs and all that. I'm like, she's
She
really taking this in. I'm happy for her for
mhm.
that.
um I just feel like I've been away from wrestling for a very long time. And this pay-per-view was a perfect pay-per-view to come back to wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And I know
Hmm.
that one of you said, the women haven't been showcased. I sort of kind of disagree with that. I feel like the women have been showcased a lot. They haven't been completely into the main event scene itself, but I feel like the visibility that they've gotten almost supersedes it, but they still deserve that main event
Yeah,
scene, if that makes sense
It does.
yeah,
of what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah. No, that does.
So I'm so glad that I came back this weekend. I didn't see Great American Bash. I think the Battle Royal was perfectly booked. The fact that Lash was the last three
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
was incredible. Um,
yeah. They
I
need
don't have
not
nothing
just
bad to
because it's
say.
Lash. They needed an NXT person towards the end too. They couldn't
Yes.
get. I That's what I took out of it was that you got to have somebody if you're gonna legitimize and keep the legitimacy of NXT. Somebody needs to be in there at the end from NXT. I That's what I took out of Lash being there. She deserved to be there. One, and because it was so funny, Mimi and Justin,
Mm-hmm.
as they were all getting in the ring, like somebody that you have casual people that watch, and they kind of didn't know who Lash was, and they were like, "Oh man, that girl's huge," and I'm sitting here like, "Yeah, y'all don't even know." Like her presence was so different from everybody else, other than Nia Jax in
And
there.
she stood toe
Like,
to toe with Nia. That was like,
yeah,
oh shit.
oh yeah, nah. She looked like, okay, that's somebody we need to be looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So nah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Slick, what's going on, sir?
What's happening, family? I
What's up?
Yeah, man. I actually was just listening, but when I heard Mimi jump on, I had to jump on
Oh,
because
not when we
what.
were on, but when
No,
Mimi was on. Got it. Okay.
no.
Listen,
But
like
but
not
she said something that just connected with me, man. Because when she was talking about Naomi and the relatability, like to me, that's just something that always hits home because I have this justified paranoia about the way they book black talent and the way that these crowds treat black talent. And it's just like, some of it I think is conscious and some of it I don't think is conscious. It all comes down to relatability, right? And so but when you have the freedom to boo people because they're different, then you do it and you get away with it. So I think it was all very calculated. If you were gonna have Naomi ruin what is possibly the greatest women's match in WWE history with a cash in, Atlanta was the place to do it. Okay, Atlanta or DC or maybe Philly. Okay, like somewhere real black, maybe New Orleans. Okay,
yeah,
and because we just don't get received like that, and with Naomi, right? Yeah, she's super talented. Yeah, she's all that. But but just look, man. I feel like you know a lot of black people, especially if you grew up in any southern area, whatever, Naomi is somebody you know. You know what I'm saying? She's so relatable in that way. And so for for that reason, it always annoyed me that they never give her the kind of elevation that they give other people. And I
hmm,
also kind of understand, oh man, y'all just don't get it.
Yep.
Right. So when Bianca came out, Bianca is, I think, one of the most, if not the most all-around talented performer I've ever seen. She made WWE understand sassy black girl. And she made them get behind sassy black girl. And she
yeah,
made them market the hell out of sassy black girl in a way that Naomi never could. You know what I'm saying? And so but that speaks to Bianca's level of talent and her ability to sell and come up with the catchphrase, girl, you know what I mean? All of that, so dope, so fire. I love it. But for all those little reasons, Naomi just was kind of overlooked and passed over and whatever. And when she was able to just, make that turn and go heel and just, make this new version of herself, it's to me, just like Mimi was saying, she can't do no wrong. Like my kids are saying, but she pushed Jade into the car. I said it's okay. Sometimes,
Like
sometimes you
Jade
gotta
probably
do what you gotta
deserved
do.
it.
You know what I mean? Like because underneath all that, right, is the story that we can all relate to of busting your ass. You know what I mean? Like if you busted your ass like outside of the being a black woman part, like she's been in WWE since what, 2010, 2012, like just
2009, realistically.
2009,
Yeah.
Yeah.
busting her ass, grinding through all the eras, evolving, doing all the things, and she's always treated like a footnote. And so to see her like get this run, like she could do no wrong to me, you know what I mean, in my eyes. And so like, so to see her like, get this win, like to me, that shit was so great. And honestly, that's probably one of the only ways I would have like been okay with the ending to that match being what it was, with Naomi being the cash in. So that was super dope. The other thing was that Mimi touched on was Charlotte. You know what I mean? Like well, you mentioned how Charlotte was getting cheered and it made you think about Mimi, and I was like, man, the thing about Charlotte, though, I will say this: like, I feel like she's been trying to get herself into a baby face space for a while. But here's the problem: they're not doing her no favors from a creative standpoint. Like, she had a devastating knee injury, and like that that's right there on the platter for you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Do the comeback
Yeah, the,
story.
the
Do
the
vignettes
vignettes
about her
didn't help.
training. Okay, what you saying?
The vignettes didn't help. The
No, no, but
vignettes that
but
she
but they
had to
did,
bring
but
her
they
back.
did exactly. They brought
Yeah,
her right back as I'm Charlotte. I'm super glamorous. I'm
and
coming
I'm
back
better
as the
than you.
queen.
Yeah,
And like that was the perfect time to do. Oh no, she's working her way back. Devastating knee injury. Can she come back? Like
yeah.
that was the
Do the
perfect
Triple H
time to do
joint
that.
from '02. They could have done. They could have repeated that entirely, and
It's
that Bama came over and was more over than anybody. Like when he came back as a babyface.
it's a lot like when Seth Rollins blew his knee up in 2015, and he
Mm-hmm.
had that. Remember they did that documentary,
Yeah, the
and
twenty
Yep.
I
four
feel like
seven
everybody saw that and was like,
redesign,
dog.
rebuild, reclaim.
Yeah, I was like, yo, you. I was like, this got to be the
That
guy.
like that 24/7 special made me a Seth fan because I
It
wasn't
was
before that.
amazing. And then I'm like, dog, like, so, but you know what? But then they brought him back and they tried to bring him back as a heel. And I was like, this is
And
so
it didn't
stupid.
work.
So stupid. I was like, you just pissed. But like, I'm not, don't get me started on the tangent, that whole
But
thing.
I
I
But
think
like,
I
understand.
think
No,
with
it's
Charlotte
funny you mentioned
though,
that. Go ahead, Justin.
with Charlotte though, I don't think it's just the booking because she's a heel. The issue with Charlotte with the general fans has always been she's always in the title picture. What does Charlotte look like away from the title? We've never seen that because she may do a quick program for like a month and then she's tangentially right back in the title picture. That, and mind you, it goes all the way back to when she got called up. She was the first one to go after Nikki Bella.
yep.
She's the one that dethroned Nikki Bella for that Diva title, and it's always been titles that this is
No,
the
you're
first
right.
time we're finally seeing her
But she's
away.
not doing it
Yeah, this is the
right.
first time we're really seeing her away from that. Where it's like you're allowing us to see Charlotte evolve into a character where she doesn't. It's not always house out tiles. The same way with Bianca, where people were
Mm-hmm.
starting to have that exhaustion of Bianca's always in the title picture. Bianca's always got this, and you get the her and Naomi and Jade away from that top title, put her in a tag team to where it's like, cool, now we get to see Bianca away from this top title. What does the character really look like? And now it's allowing people to really generally come around to Charlotte. On top of that Players Tribune article that Mimi brought up, where she got very, very, very personal for the first time in a long time.
Right.
And now it's like, see, we want to cheer you, but it's been this combination of the company puts you at this pedestal and says everyone else is below you, and you're always
Right.
a heel that we've always wanted to show you love. Now we actually get to do this.
See, I think it's I don't know, man. Like it's just my brain thinks of it from like a producer slash talent perspective, where it's like I feel like if I'm writing that, I'm like, hey, okay, look, we're gonna tell the comeback story, and the story's gonna be you're trying to see if you can get it back from the young gun. And I would have had the build to WrestleMania be like, Charlotte doubting herself and Tiffany shitting on her, and then Charlotte, then you have the WrestleMania match, then Tiffany beats her, and now you still got this story. Can Charlotte get it back? You know what I mean? Like
Sh-
it
sh-
just keeps rolling like to me, but they did her no favors in the storytelling, and I think that's why people can only ever see her as somebody who's like quote unquote hogging the spotlight, which is stupid because she doesn't
yeah.
have the
Charlotte should have been a non-advertised return at the Royal Rumble. I'll
Right.
stick by that. She should
Right.
have been non-advertised,
Yeah.
came in at 20 whatever, which she came in at. Fans would have popped for that. She'd have been gone 14 months.
Yes.
You think they weren't going to cheer for that? She's
Yeah. No, exactly. They were
like,
cheering for her huge, just like they cheered for
yeah,
Alexa Bliss.
yeah. Let me tell y'all something. When Alexa came out, I don't think anybody had a bigger pop for the. I'm talking about men included. I don't think anybody had a bigger pop than that.
Which is crazy
Like,
because she's kind of dog shit. I'm sorry.
But I tell you, people love, like
I
capital
know they like
love
her. They
Alexa
like her.
Bliss.
Don't start me on this
I
tangent
love
again, please.
Alexa. I do.
She's wearing the uniform. So the other my other point was Stephanie Vaquer. Okay, like I've said many times, I think Io Sky is the best wrestler in the world, male, female, any company. I think she's amazing. I think Stephanie Vaquer is right on her heels, man. Like she is amazing. And when she cut that promo and she said the line, uh English isn't my first language, wrestling is my first language, dog, I got chills. I was like, bro, like
Hmm.
she effing gets it. Like so, like to me, I'm like, I don't know, just get out the way, bro. Like, cause she
Yeah.
has it in every aspect of it. And to me, I'm all the more impressed by that because English isn't her second language. That's much the way I feel about like EO too, is like, like promos are never gonna be her strong suit, but like she just draws you in with all the other things that she does.
Yeah.
Like to
Oscar
me,
too.
I love that, man. I love that. So yeah, so that's the one part about like again, my paranoia for the way they book black talent is never going to go away. And I was like, man, they put that belt on Naomi. Oh damn it, Stephanie Vaquer won the
Right.
battle royal. She's good.
Right. Yeah. That's
So,
what I'm saying. I don't know if Stephanie makes it out of Paris
yeah,
without a championship, but
yeah. But
um,
I think they should do like just have Naomi go on like a nice heel run, have her beat the babyface everybody thinks is going to win. Two more points. That's it. Last one. Last Legend. Last Legend. I was so happy to see her get that shine. You mentioned that
yeah.
maybe they had her in there just so they could end with like, an NXT person or whatever.
Well,
But like,
well, I wasn't saying it as that.
no, no,
I think she deserved to be there. I was saying that I think an NXT person needed to be there. I don't think she was there as just she was the spot
right.
person for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So to me, it's like like
uh,
deserves got nothing to do with it. But the thing that I'm impressed by is every time they give her an opportunity, she effing kills it. I remember those times it was
yeah,
either last year or the year before when they were having a main event and somebody got hurt and she came out and wrestled for the second time on that show, and I was like, dog, like. And then they did nothing with her after that. That pissed me off so bad. But she's someone that every time you watch her, she's getting better. She's
yeah,
settled into being a power wrestler. She's not gonna be, Hurricane Rana Jones. You know what I mean? Like that's not
right.
her game, and she's not trying to do that. But she's really good at what she's doing. And again, like I was looking at her a couple of years ago, and I was like, man, I'm getting Titus O'Neil vibes. But she's gotten better. She just keeps getting better and better and better. I'm so happy for her, and I feel like the more opportunity she's getting, she's showing you that she delivers.
Well, I appreciate you, Terrence.
Hmm.
Thank you. You're
One
amazing
last,
as
one
always.
last point. Can I get one last point? One last
Go
point. I'll
ahead,
be
because I
done
want
here.
to make sure I get everybody else and go.
This is
I
my last
promise.
one.
Go.
The last one.
Go ahead.
Becky Lynch is the goat.
Said no
Ah.
one ever.
That's nah. She had a good. That was a good win by her on
And
Sunday.
I
That's a good
love the
win.
troll of like, oh, y'all think I'm Becky Hogan? Then I'm gonna fuck with y'all and come out
And
in
she
the
came
damn
out in
the
the red and
colors.
yellow.
Yes, you came out in the red
And
and
I hope
yellow.
she does that for as long as she has that belt. Like I'm just gonna come out in the red and yellow and piss y'all off even more.
Start
But
putting on a
because
headband.
not only has she elevated herself, but she elevates everybody she works with, which is just another reason why Becky is the goat. I'm out.
Bill Bixby, what's going on, good sir?
Happy birthday, and how's everybody doing?
Thank you. Doing great.
Fantastic. Tired.
Hey,
I drove all the way back from Atlanta to DC straight, but I'm okay.
yeah, my
Jesus.
sister lives in Atlanta. First thing first, I'm being from Alabama. I've been to Atlanta plenty of times. Folks, that Beyonce concert and Evolution being the same time was not going to make traffic worse. Traffic in Atlanta sucks every day.
Oh, and let me
Uh,
tell you something. No, let me tell you something. Let me jump in there because I was in that. Sunday night was a disaster.
yeah,
Trying to get out of the city of Atlanta, there was from people running across the street effortlessly with no sense of direction to traffic in their cowboy boots and hat
Yep.
and sashes, and to people just it, it was just such a mix. I will say this: the Beyonce concert goers were very nice, and in a nice way, to the wrestling fans,
Yeah.
because it was, you could almost, somebody would almost think that vibe would be almost negative, like they'd be like, what is going on here? But they were actually take pictures with people's belts, so they were into it, as if it wasn't Beyonce going on, or Beyonce was earlier, they might have tried to catch the wrestling show too. So it
Yeah.
was really
Why would you think that it would be different than that?
it, it maybe because they just thought, maybe because it was thinking that people would think that's the only thing that's going on, so what else is going on? It could,
Mm,
yeah, you know, like
I wouldn't have said that, but okay.
Uh,
I,
I, yeah, all I know is one thing is Mimi conveniently brought her ass back to wrestling when Roman came out. I don't know what.
Actually, I
what.
fell asleep. I did fall asleep. I don't remember. It was a men's match that put me to
Yeah,
bed.
You
Um,
said gauntlet
and
match,
I
gauntlet
actually,
sleep.
yeah,
maybe that's what it was. No, no, that
Yeah,
I don't know what
yeah,
it
because
was.
before Roman, it was a gauntlet match, and Braun was in there for like 90% of that gauntlet match.
No, but
I'm
what was
sorry. I'm
before that?
sorry. I'm not gonna hold you. We was in the conversation with Mimi. She was probably asleep an hour before that gauntlet match started.
of course she was. Doesn't even surprise
I
me.
was, I
I
was.
mean, because
I
the
don't
first half
remember.
of Raw was all women's stuff. It was
yep,
the
I
Naomi
think I saw
stuff.
all of
It
that.
was Chelsea, Nikki Bella, and
yep.
it was another
Oh,
women,
the tag
the
match.
Bailey Lyra 2 out of 3
Oh
falls.
no, that was good. That was good. That
So
was
like the
good.
first 90 minutes was all women's business, and
Yeah.
then it was the men's and the gauntlet.
You know what though? One thing also, right? It was like people. It's like where everybody complaining about Charlotte. One, who else was going to win the Royal Rumble? Two, maybe not you guys here talking about everybody complains. Maybe y'all faves just suck and weren't good enough and couldn't cut the mustard to be a good, legit winner. Hate to break it to y'all. I'm sorry.
I mean, my
And like,
fave's in AEW at the moment, but go ahead.
yeah, oh yeah, it's gonna be real
Like we
racist when she
said.
comes. Hey, it's gonna be real racist when she comes back to WWE. Woo-hoo, for that crowd. But here's the thing, right? With Naomi, right?
Hmm.
Sometimes a heel turn does make a difference because the glow did get stagnant. But Naomi reminds me so much of the Joker because yeah, we know the Joker is batshit crazy, but he was actually smart and intelligent and cunning. You know, he was
Mhm.
a chemist. And also, he made great plans. He faked you out. And how Naomi explained it was the ultimate fake out because we all thought she was cashing in on Jade at SummerSlam.
Mhm.
And it was like, I outgrew you, told Bianca and all that. And I was like, man, that was a great fake out, you know. And but it also freshens things up in that division. And one thing I hate when people love talking about, I say it all the time. They complain about Bianca being a title pitch all the time. Folks were mad when she had a title shot this past WrestleMania, and she still ain't had a one-on-one title match since November of 2023. And she got a match in a triple threat, and they were mad she got that.
Hmm.
But, but I'm not knocking Rhea Ripley here. She's talented. She's a star. And my thing is, like I said, your phase you to step up. But this woman stayed in that title picture since last year.
Oh, the conversation around Rhea's been bubbling too. She ain't been exempt. That's been brewing up of like we be keeping that same energy with Charlotte and Bianca. Rhea's starting to get that too.
They need to put other people. And like when people are Stephanie in the rocket ship, I think one reason she should lose to Naomi and this be the best thing for Stephanie, because once these internet fans believe they shove you down their throat, they will turn on you. No matter what good promos you have. And And I think that may be a risk. And they put that rocket to her now. And she ain't even been there a whole year yet on the main roster. Fans may turn on her because they say the company chosen, and especially at the expense of someone like Naomi. It was against Rhea, Io may be different. And I think that, hey, she could, because Naomi could cheat to win because she's a heel. And I think that maybe, that because if you don't want these fans turn on stuff, 'cause remember, they turned on Roman Reigns at the beginning. And, they turn on people all the time. And I think just hold up on her on that one.
No,
I think they turn on people when they're not themselves. That's what I
Yep.
think. I think they turn on, they recognize when you're not being yourself, when you're being when you're being turned up and you're not turning up. I think that's
Yep.
when you realize it. That's when they start turning on you. Or if it starts being like super exhaustion, like we started
Roman.
seeing with um no, I don't think
I'm
that
messing with you. I'm
they
messing with you.
yeah, because last night, I mean, we've been praying for him to come back. And listen,
You need them.
there are factors where,
I think it was weed, but go ahead.
I didn't see the exact, we never know when he has a kid, but the rumor is that, he got he got kids to feed. Same
Nick
thing with
Cannon
Nikki
over here.
Bella. She got alimony. You
Yeah.
know,
Hey, don't
Yeah,
listen,
worry.
yeah.
And plus, also,
listen.
with this, can I say this real quick? Also, it's like with the Seth injury and these injuries to these big names,
Oh, I'm
I
so sad about
consider it.
that.
I consider like a lot of these injuries to these big names a blessing in disguise because you got no excuse now but to take swings with
A
people.
blessing. I wouldn't say that.
Now,
Yeah,
but not.
wrong choice of words when it's a serious injury like that.
But my bad. Silver lining. Oh, sorry. I'm from Alabama. We say
Yeah,
bless a lot.
I get where you're going with
Hey,
that. That was a swing and a miss.
yeah. I kind of forgot y'all city folk. But here's the thing. Uh, but the thing is
No.
though, like it's but but there's a silver lining because hey, Liv's out. We got to make these changes. Seth is out. And I see to me the chemistry is better with Paul talking for Braun and Bronson because I remember back in the day the Heenan family, Kurt Hennig could talk, Rick Rude could talk, but Bobby Heenan still talked them up, made them
Hmm.
bigger than life. And I think that's an opportunity to put somebody else in there, or like something like Bianca's being hurt right now. That's a golden opportunity for another woman to step up. Because once she comes
Hmm.
back, I don't want to hear no complaints. So if you could be like Naomi, use that social media to get your character off. And that's what I like. That's I say this. This is what I appreciate about her because she got off her butt, got her character across her own time and her money. And my
That's right.
last thing is, I watched that Evolution Battle Royal. They might as well call some of these women up. Hey, you just got to call some of them up. I'm
I
sorry.
feel like it's saturated. I feel like it's
They don't
saturated.
need to
They
call
don't need to call
nobody up
anyone
right
up. You
now.
Yeah.
forget
It's enough
Stephanie
women
just
up
got
already.
called up. Roxanne just got called up. Julia just got called up. Where you
Oh,
gonna
I'm
Yeah,
put
I
sorry.
think we
them?
need to chill.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
even
some
though
of these
NXT is bringing people in, they gotta leave. They gotta leave people down in NXT.
You
They
Hmm.
gotta
do.
let the call ups breathe
Selena.
for a little bit.
Uh, hey, but even spot duty, even just show up sometime like that, like last Jakara did for a little bit. Even do spot duty so the fans get to know you a little bit. And once you call up, they remember you. You can even do
Oh,
that.
Hmm.
I don't think that'll stop. I don't think that'll stop. We'll
Yeah,
still see that as long as
because
there's women tag titles. We'll still see that.
yeah, because I need Selena to be a manager. I'm sorry. You need some managers out there. And I think that with some people like a Lash, a Jada Parker, who's super confident on the mic, at least get the people like Saul Ruka, what they did. You get some people to know who they are. So when they come up, people may remember them and it won't be that big steep of curve to like learn who they are. Because once you get called up, folks got to remember the NXT audience ain't the main roster audience. They perform around the same people just about every week, and they be lucky to get half of the SmackDown rating every week. So you still got to reintroduce themselves to new people. Why not use them for spot duty
Hmm.
sometimes? Even in singles matches. That's what I'm saying. So, but hey, I know you guys got to run everything. Y'all take it easy, and I'm still so happy that Naomi won that title, man. So happy for her.
Thank you, good sir.
Thank you, Bill. Monet, then Sierra.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh,
Happy birthday,
Yo,
Justin.
thank you.
Um, okay, so a couple of days ago I had watched the first evolution and personally in my personal opinion, it didn't hold up well over time. I think this one will hold up way better over time.
Hmm.
I just think like when you talk about like it sucks that it took 7 years. I feel like it probably should happen sooner. But like I really like seeing the difference between the first one and this one because it's just like the talent, like even talent who were on the original one are just like on such a different level now. Like
Mhm.
Becky and Bailey and Charlotte, like in and like Becky and Charlotte had a match at the first evolution. I'm like, they're better now. Like, and they were great then. And it's just like I love seeing like the genuine growth, like of a lot of those women who were like there the first time, and I love seeing like all the new women that were there. Like I just like I don't know. It was just so special. Like, cause just like even when it just started, like it just made me want to cry. Because in my personal opinion, I think the women in 2025, I think at times WWE could present them better. But I think 2025, especially from an in-ring perspective, like the women have been carrying for me. Like they've been carrying 2025 WWE. Like they've just been incredible, and I'm happy they finally just like got this opportunity because to just shine. Like not saying they haven't gotten to shine like many different times earlier this year and before, but just like get to show this company who felt like they somewhat wanted them to fail, not but like a little bit, or I don't feel like they gave them like the best opportunity to fully succeed.
Mhm.
And like to just see them like put on what is probably not even probably it is the best WWE pay per view of the year to me. Like I don't feel like there is a better one. It just felt
Yeah.
like they all just had like such a chip on their shoulder. Um, they what they did was just so incredible and like was just
Mhm.
so special. And just like I don't know. Like I just kind of like I low key want to cry about it because like I'm so proud of all of them. Like they just did like an amazing job. Like they
Yep.
just did such an incredible job because like that they deserve so much more. And like I love that they even gave them so much more time to shine on Raw. Like they deserve more main events. Like that Rhea Io main event, like it just showed like I'm somewhat tired of like the male main event formula. It's like they did WrestleMania 40 and they feel the need to do it like at every pay-per-view now. I'm over that. Like I love that we got a ref bump. Like we see in the men's matches, but I love how they use it like to explore the space versus like you feeling like there's gonna be a million different people running out there. Like it just felt the women just they're just so incredible. Like I just feel like they're on such a different level right now. Like to me, that is the future of wrestling. Not saying like there aren't men's wrestlers on the roster where they're not the future, but like I feel like women's wrestling is the future of wrestling. Like they just I
Mhm.
feel like are understanding it on like such a different level right now. I think they're just connecting in a way that I feel like some of the even up and coming guys that you see in NXT just aren't like they just get it. Like they just get it in like such a different way. And I'm just happy like they just got to like show that. Like I'm happy they just got like show that and just had this great stage to just show the world like women's wrestling is like where it's at right now because like they are just like these women are just so talented. They're just so
Yeah.
talented. And I low key want to cry. Like I don't know why I want to cry, but like I do. Because like it was just like incredible.
Because it's impactful. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah, it was just so impactful. Like it's just like and just to just see how like better it's just gotten, like and how
Yeah.
much better it will be. And like Mimi, you had tweeted like the Rhea Io main event kind of like redefine like what it meant to be a main event. And like I was saying, it's just like seeing a different style of a main
Mhm.
event from these women. I was like, just put them in a main event position. Like I want to see
Yeah.
them I want to see them in a SummerSlam main event. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to see Cody Rhodes and John Cena there. Like I want
That's right.
to see like the women's trip with her or Becky and like because they just bring something so different and so special that I'm just like these men just aren't giving. And I love men's wrestling. I'm not even just a women's wrestling, but like I love men's wrestling, but it's just like the women are just like they're just like hitting a different gear right now. So
Yep.
like I just like hope they continue to just get the shine. I hope this wasn't. I hope Monday especially because Triple H said in that press conference. And Triple H says a lot of things, and it kind of pisses me off because he just feels like a liar sometimes.
Yep.
But like he said in a press conference, he said like, oh, he doesn't know if he would do another one because like, oh, the women
He
just
said that?
he said he didn't know because he was like, oh well, we shouldn't need another one if the women get equal opportunity. And I'm like, you don't give them equal opportunity.
Fucking dick.
and
I'm
I
sorry.
and I hope that like Monday wasn't just a one off of just like allowing these women to shine on like a Raw. And I hope you get it more respect. I hope it's just consistent. Like people wouldn't be begging for an all women's pay per view all the time if you would like just like genuinely give them equal opportunity. When he sits in
Right.
a press conference and says, "Oh, the best thing is what is the main event," stop lying. Like act on it. Like
Wow.
what you preach because he says it all the time about when people want the women to main event. He'll be like, "Oh well, the best thing is what main events," and it's just like the last times these women are outperforming these men, and I'm just like that. I just hope like what he said about like oh these women getting equal. I just hope that continues. I hope this just wasn't a one off thing because oh we had evolution and he just wanted to like stay face and like just seem like this great booker. Like I want him to like stand on what he said because like these women are way too incredible to like not be put in these prominent positions and be put in positions to carry the show because in my
Right.
opinion right now currently they're just the most entertaining thing. Like they just
Mhm.
thrive. Give them like more story. Like give them more. Like talking about the women's world championship, I am. like it is one of the titles where I'm like, it has just been done such a disservice over the past few years, from Rhea to Liv to Io. Like, I hope Naomi isn't subjected to that, because my opinion, that belt is cursed because they don't know how to
Yeah.
book it. Like, I hope she's not subjected, because these women are like so incredible. Like, Rhea and Io showed, like, why did Triple H not let Rhea Ripley consistently wrestle for 2.5 years? Like, why was she inconsistently wrestling? Because she's great at this wrestling thing. Io Sky, like, why was she not wrestling consistently for the past 2.5 months? Because she is like probably the best wrestler in the world, you know. And I just think, you know, like, these women keep showing it, and it's like they just won't give them the full opportunity. Like, they'll showcase it every once in a while, but then they'll just like take it away. And I hope this time they don't take it away. I hope this just showed them, like, you know, like, women's wrestling is where it's at. Like, this is your future. This is your present and
Hmm.
your future. You know, like, capitalize on it. Like, because these women just like deserve so much more. So yeah, but like, it was a great show, and I'm so happy for Naomi, and I'm so happy, like, she gets to like inject more life into the Raw women's division, because yeah, like, I love Rhea Ripley to death, but yeah, I need her to do something other than go for the championship, not just because like I feel like also she deserves more too. It's just like dude, like, she doesn't even want to go for the title all the time. If you listen to her talking in interviews, she's kind of sick of it too. So it's just like, give these women more, give them more story than just going for a title. And we've seen them have non-title feuds, but like, you need more of them, because that's kind of the difference between the men's and women's division. It's just like the men's, they're not always in the title picture because they have these non-title stories that kind of pull them away. Some of these other women is like, yeah, like, give them non-title stories to kind of pull them away, and just to like just create more story in the division, and just have a better rotation. So I think Naomi will really like add to that rotation now that you have another player in that division. But yeah, it was an incredible weekend, and I'm just like so proud of all the women, and I hope we do get another evolution sooner rather than later, because that pay-per-view was incredible.
Thank you, Monet. I think you said everything that needed to be said.
That was great.
I know. I feel bad for Sierra. Who gotta follow this?
Um, don't feel bad for me. Um,
I'm like, she
Hello,
gonna get
Fred.
off regardless.
hello, friend. Happy birthday.
Mhm.
Um,
Thank you.
yeah, don't feel bad for me. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna hold my breath on another evolution event. I've held it all these years. But I'll be fine. Um, great show, top to bottom. Everything flowed perfectly. Whoever did the booking with the matches on the card did correctly with instead of exhausting us with tag team match into battle royal, they booked it to where we had a cool down moment. Everybody can collect themselves. Like, we weren't exhausted with like 50,000 people throwing it at us one time. Perfect, solid booking. I don't know who was over that backstage, but bravo to you. Also, whoever was in charge of the cameras, baby, whoever got that angle on Naomi and Jade in the ring, marvelous. Like, that was such a beautiful angle going straight through the table. Great. Like, they need a raise. But overall, Evolution was great. Naomi has been with that company since maybe 2008, I want to say 2009, a
Yeah,
long
it's like
time.
'08 or '09 for
I'm
sure.
gonna say like
Definitely
her,
within
So,
that
her and
two
Natty are
thousand.
like the OG, triple
yeah.
OGs.
Yeah, I think
So,
Naomi's '09. Mm-hmm.
when I wrote about Natalia last week, I had to sit there and think, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I was like, Natalia has been with this company since, I want to say when right around when Heart Wrestling Association was a thing, and then they started bringing some of those wrestlers into OVW when that was their developmental. And I had to sit there and really like look it up because I'm like, this has to be 0506. And then, like, she's been there with Deep South when they were having Deep South as their other developmental. Then when they had FCW, and then Naomi's been there since FCW, Florida Championship Wrestling. Um, when they transitioned over to NXT, Naomi was up on the main roster at that time. So she's been there a very long time. The only thing is with Naomi is that I feel like, as people that have watched Naomi for a long time, that we kind of get in this mindset of that, yes, she's been overlooked plenty of times. We will never take that away because there's been plenty of times, plenty of opportunities that she should have been right there. But we get too locked into that and also kind of forget that, especially when we get to comparing her to Bianca. Both athletic, both talented, both are thinking ahead of everyone. Naomi's gimmick with the glowing in the dark character, she had pitched that to the company for about almost 3 years. And they kept telling her no, 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 just kept consistently telling her no. Even during a time when that would have been like hot on the market. The thing is that when Naomi was first brought to that main roster, even when they transitioned into going from the Divas division into the women's superstars to the superstars era, there was a whole different creative team, whole different booking team, whole different regime. Bianca has came in with a whole different group of people. People that actually see and actually say, hey, let's actually do the thing with her. Whereas Naomi could have had that same thing. It's just that different times, different periods, and it's sad that it's taken this long for those same people to turn around and be like, no, let's put Naomi in the spot. It's sad because especially when you look at it as a black woman, it's like she should have gotten her just due ages ago.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm sitting there looking at Evolution now, mind you, I'm watching this at work. I'm on the clock watching Evolution. First of all, ain't nobody gonna tell me to turn it off because my auntie Jacqueline came there with a good wig on. Um, Jazz is in the crowd. Like Jazz, who has been pretty much not even giving anything by that company since her departure many moons ago, and was pretty much treated like she was blackballed. And to see both of them sitting in that crowd and watching that moment and sitting there and going, it's really sad that both of these women didn't even get to have not even a tenth of what Naomi's gotten to do, what Bianca's gotten to do, what even Jade has gotten to do, any other black woman that's came after them has gotten to do. Those two women have not even gotten, not even, I would say, not even 10% to do.
Mm.
And that shows you how far along we came. Yes, Jacqueline was the first women's champion in that company, and I remember that because that was on my birthday. And they took the title off of her, tossed it to everybody else around hot potato. Jazz came in there. The way she came in there, such destructive, basically a interruption to that Divas division, especially when at the time I think people forget, people think Trish Stratus was this warrior, a wrestler, her whole career, which she was not. When she first got the women's championship, they put it on her because at that time she was in a division full of veterans that were helping her learn to wrestle on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
When they brought Jazz in, she had already went against Jacqueline. She already went against Ivory. She already had her feud with Lita back and forth over the years. They said we need to have a new challenger, someone that's going to be the polar opposite of Trish. And here was Jazz. Jazz challenged her in that ring on multiple times. Even when you open up those matches today, you still sit there and be like, God damn. Like, she really pushed her to her limit in that ring. And Trish has credited her for that. Has the company ever given Jazz any credit for anything? No. It's the same with Jacqueline. Both of those women have been heralded and credited for helping push their opponents to the limit, helping, you know, finesse moves. Like, for instance, Lisa Moretti, we all know is Ivory. She had been wrestling for many years, but like she has always said, something about when her and Jacqueline got in the ring, Jacqueline always pulled out that extra that was in her that she didn't know she had. So to see those two women, see Naomi come down there and be the quote unquote black woman that's a heel, get cheered for cashing in and having that moment, that's one of those things you can't describe because usually, especially back in their day when they were the black woman that was a heel, they got booed. So it's just so different just to see that, and I hope that this actually goes towards something more for Naomi and more visibility for her because she has, outside of the character, she has such a presence and such a likable energy. Even when she was on Total Divas, I used to love her parts because she was just so bubbly, so open. She has that. I just hope the company actually sees that and utilizes that more than just throw her in there when we need her type of thing.
Hmm. Yeah, and I hope she gets like a good, decent long run this time compared to the last time where she got to hold it from Mania to SummerSlam, but she only got to defend it against Lana 3 times. So it was like a hollow title run. And then when she finally got to be in there with someone legit, she lost it to Natty, and that was around the time where Natty lost her dad. So hopefully this time
Hmm.
around, it's like you have a legit roster. Don't feed her anyone that's super green, but she should hold that for a minute.
Yeah, I hope so. Because, I mean, now looking at that women's title picture, I mean, her and Rhea would great. Her and Io would be great. Um, I want to see her and Stephanie.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, there's just so many, and even when I was watching Evolution, there's so many down in NXT that are very talented. Um, that I feel like at some point, I'm not always about call up to the main roster. I'm in the mindset of let's mix it up. Um, Especially now that they have this working relationship with TNA. Mix it up. And I kind of like what they're doing over in TNA where they're having NXT and TNA work together. Because there is no reason I should be having Masha Slamovic punching JC Jane in the face. I'm just saying, there's just absolutely no reason.
Doesn't do it for you.
It doesn't do it for me, but I like the idea of, especially these rugged veterans that are in TNA or these other indie darlings that are in TNA working with the up and coming star of NXT, helping polish them, helping get them more prepared to move up to the big leagues. Like, I feel like that's works well for everybody. I just hope that over time we get a little more tweaking with that. Um, and I don't know, because I mean we've seen Jordan Grace appear on main roster, especially during the time when she was with TNA. So you never know, like something else like that could happen down the line. I mean, it's just so many possibilities. And with Naomi's reign, I mean, I feel like anybody she goes against is going to be a good match because I think people also forget Naomi is actually an incredible wrestler, and Charlotte has always championed that she is one of her favorite opponents. So that's just sets the bar right there.
Absolutely. Like people
So
people underestimate Naomi's in ring skills. And to a point that you were
yeah.
saying, like if people, come up for a cup of tea, you can always have people go down for a cup of tea. You've had Natty do it before. Bailey is out of
Hmm.
the IC title picture, so she's gonna need something to do.
Here's what I will say about this whole don't mean to
Nah,
derail.
go ahead, tag in.
I'm tired of her eating pins. I'm tired of Bailey eating pins. I'm tired of it.
I, I am too. I'm tired of sis eating pins. I Every time I see her eat pens, it just makes me go back and I have like PTSD to her indie
Yes,
days when she was always being pinned. And I'm just like, Davina Rose, get up, please. Like,
I can't take
that
it.
is the first thing. I just can't take it. But in same thing with Bailey and certain ones of them, like, I know people hate when you see the main roster people go down to NXT or TNA because they consider it like a demotion. I would be completely fine with some of these women going down to TNA or anything just to mix it up because I feel
Yes.
like we see them fight each other so much. Like, for instance, Io and Rio, we've seen them 1,000 times over and over
Yep.
to the point where, Sunday night, I said, if y'all don't hit this out the park, y'all haven't
Right.
lost me.
Right.
I love both of them to death.
Hmm.
But I'm at the point where I'm like,
I'm tired.
if I can, I'm tired, but like, there is a match in Joshi. There is a few of them, but there is one particular, and if you know me pretty well, you know which one I'm talking about. If I feel that way about your match, then there's a problem. We've got to let it go. And once they went in the crowd, I said, okay, we're going to change the trajectory of this match. Please, thank God.
Oh
But
my God, that was so great.
I don't want to see them together no more.
Yeah, I'm
I
kind of
don't.
done. I was
I'm done.
shocked that they did this triple threat, and I don't know if it's because they did so well. They're trying to mix it up because they know that they'll get a guaranteed banger. Um, at these big pay-per-views, I think
Mhm.
that's they've been relegated to that. But you're gonna have to mix it up. I don't think I want to see a triple threat. I've seen the one-on-one. Now you're giving us another triple threat. I'm done.
But I think
Yeah, I'm
it's
tired of
also
three
to
peats.
balance that card for SummerSlam because you're getting Jade and Tiffany on the other side, and we don't know what the hell to expect out of that
But it
match.
doesn't have to be them, is my point. And my point is, I think because are one of the best matches of the night, they've been relegated to performance. They've been relegated to performing.
Hmm.
But it's like the Usos and the New Day. At the end of the day, for some reason, for me, I could watch the New Day and the Usos forever, but I can say I need to say that after I haven't seen them in a while,
Mm.
you know?
Yep.
And I
That
think
is
that
true.
they have I feel like as you say that, it feels like they're relegated to being okay, this is a guaranteed banger. So let's just go ahead and book them for the next one, whether it be one on one or whether it be in a triple threat, which is
I
exhausting.
think it is exhausting, but I also like with the women's booking side of things. For the last several years, I feel like there's been too many three pieces.
Hmm.
One too many more that I don't need.
Hmm.
And I feel like it's forced a lot of these situations, a lot of these title pictures to become series of matches. I'm
Yes.
completely fine with a best of seven series. I grew up on those. I'm completely fine.
Hmm.
But there becomes a point where if it's not a series or this is a real one back and forth thing and we're inserting a third person just to mix it up, but then all of a sudden after that match ends, that third person disappears and then we never mention them again,
Right.
it becomes a point of one, why did that happen?
Right.
Two,
What's the point?
where are
Yep.
we going?
Yep.
It becomes indie booking a little bit for me.
Yeah.
Like not
And
good
that's what
indie
I
booking,
think the Trish match. That's how I feel
Yankee
about the
janky
Trish
indie booking.
matches.
Yeah.
Trish matches
Like
are MV, but is MV. I always walk away. I never want to see it. Respectfully, I never want to see it because she wasn't. I didn't watch around that time, and I don't understand it. And she comes in, she comes out. Like I just don't get it. But I get the nostalgia, but I just don't get it. I don't get the booking.
I the only thing that bothers me with the Trish thing is so I'm a habitual diva era defender. I will fight you harder like the stands. Don't talk about the divas, okay?
Hmm.
Even the ones that was horrible, okay? Don't talk about the divas. It wasn't their fault. And Tori Wilson said it there that, you know, we would find out we're having a match, and then that day we would learn to do one of those moves.
Hmm.
Like a lot of those women were forced to learn on the fly,
Yeah.
even if they didn't want to.
Right.
So it's kind of subjective, but in Trisha's point, she's had how many cups of coffee there? And when she's had these cups of coffee, it's been great the first few times. But at some point, if you're having a pay per view called Evolution and you're talking about how the women's wrestling in this company has evolved into this newer thing, you got to show that. And
Hmm.
they did a good job of showing that with those NXT girls brought up.
Yeah.
But there's going to become a point where when you look around at your audience and your audience is getting younger and you're doing these callbacks to when Trish wrestled so and so in a match in 2005 and these kids weren't born until 2010,
Right. Right.
you know, it's going to change. And then where we have the nostalgia, they're not going to have that. So when they're going to see her more and more, they're not going to respond the same way. So
Right.
nostalgia is going to get lost.
Right.
And I just have this feeling that soon she's going to start getting the same reaction as a Goldberg or any of these part timers come in because they're going to want to see someone else different,
Yep.
not constantly Trish Stratus, who's heralded as the greatest of all time of that era. You know, they're
Yep.
not going to always want to see that.
Yep. Thank you, Fran.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Fran.
I wanted to talk Love Island, but we ain't gonna be able to talk about that um
Mm-mm.
until next week.
Go ahead,
Because
y'all can.
no, because NXT is on. Two, they done got out the villa and is doing a bunch of lives. So I think we need to collect some of the
Not to
Yes, it
mention
is
collect.
a
we have
mess.
thoughts.
We have a lot of thoughts, but I want to
Child.
mix it in. I want to mix it in with the with the crazy lives that are happening right now, where apparently they're in another villa, which everybody is just I can't even see enough TikToks to like, wait, y'all was with each other for like 6 weeks and now y'all back in another, like, what is
The,
going
Yeah.
on?
the tea is teeing, and it's just like I
Right.
need a I need a couple of minutes so I can Venn diagram some of these teas where it's like, wait, that's going on. Wait, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's
I need you to
it's it's a
elaborate on
lot
this.
going on. It's a
A lot
lot.
going on, asking for the plug to come in and drop the bag. Like, what is, like, this is what you get when you cast a bunch of New York,
Hey, hey, hey.
respectfully. Listen, I'm from New York. I know my peoples. I know how we could be.
I'm just saying. Not only do we have a couple of New
Human
Yorkers, but we had
beings.
a couple Latinos from New York, especially in the finals. Like, wait a minute.
But it's
Let's not
What
start
you
with
also
mean?
trash.
What you
but it's
mean?
also what
Amaya
they
was
get
on the
when
live talking about the fucking plug. What are you talking about?
this is
She's
true.
telling you who she is. She's
But
See,
this is
telling you
and
also
who
that's
what
she
they get
is.
see,
for
that's why I need the
casting a
Venn
bunch of
diagram.
influencers too that are easily going to record everything as soon as they get their phone back. Like
Yeah.
I've
They got
seen
that phone.
I've
Mm,
seen Islanders do some things like this post, leaving the island, but when I'm seeing them, like I'm like, hold on, all y'all shacked up at the what is going on? Like,
yeah.
like
This was the
everybody's
worst casting
together.
ever.
There, Orlandria and Nick were saying like they were watching like clips of the show, and like they're like looking at stuff 8 hours worth, and they're just comparing and contrasting. Like it is a mess.
Mm. But we'll talk about it next week,
Yeah, I gotta
y'all.
do my homework, and I'm about to start
Hmm.
season 6 as soon as we hop off this.
Yes. Season 6 is the Money Making Jermaine's his niece actually won season
Oh,
6.
very
Serena.
nice.
Yeah. So just a little bit of the tidbit for y'all. But thank you for joining us. It's 8:30. We went over. Um, it's been great. It's been a great weekend of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's really great? I didn't see Saturday night's main event,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't see a lot of Cody tweets on my timeline, which I absolutely
That's because he
loved.
was across the cross away at the home run derby for Major League Baseball because that was
Oh,
also going
great. He
on.
was away from us. Great. That's awesome. So at the end of the day, when it's all said and done,
Mm-hmm.
Cody Rhodes still sucks.
And Roman's back.
It's funny that she says all of this and then leaves because she can't end the show. I can.
All right, here's your
So,
rebuttal time.
so with that being said, Cody Rhodes was doing the fantastic ambassador work that Roman was too busy trying to figure out what shirt to wear and show up to do. So it's whatever because Cody Rhodes is a saint. He's great, and she can says whatever she wants, but I'm getting the last word. Cody Rhodes is fantastic. Y'all have a good
Peace.
night.